welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL Season 26, F6 Round 4 at Spain. I am your commentator, Ariel Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. I've been joined by the co-commentator who did comms last week for me while I tuned in midway through the race, as Aspect, as known as Kevin Harrison. So,
obviously, today looks like almost a full grid. So obviously last week we did see some quite nice battles at Britain. So hopefully we see more of the same. Of course, the start finish straight is pretty long, so it should promote some overtaking, and also the back straight here and there. If you get a good run, you can have a chance down the inside of the hairpin. But should hopefully provide some good racing, and maybe the Mercedes can do a little better than last week.
well, yeah, that is true. And unfortunately, Lewis Marshall left the Mercedes team, left PSGL and other leagues. He's decided to retire now, and it's like his third retirement. He can't make his mind up. But that is a shame to see, as he's no longer racing. But the championship leader, Khalifi, in first with 45 points to his name. He's had 2 wins and a second place, and this person actually didn't believe he could get a win at all this season and be lucky with podiums, and he's done very well. He's got a 13-point gap to FRL_TerraRacer. Lewis Marshall was third with 22 points. But Monster Blue, who only raced last week as a reserve, who I believe is now in the Mercedes as a full-time driver, won last week, could be a real contender for the title. Felix is in 5th place with 1 point behind with 15. And then Sneaky and Schnitzel, 14 points to their name. Legende, who hasn't done the past 2 races, was only 8 points. And Ferrari finally scored points to their team, 8 points. Diego Gello retired with his team in Austria. Hungary unfortunately missed out on the points due to a penalty. But then he finally scored points at Britain. With FRL Finley only scoring 7 points. First 2 rounds he scored points, last round he didn't. With Tipson and Williams, didn't start last week's race. I don't think he's turning up today, as we will look at the Williams team. Oh, he actually is here. My apologies, he is here today. And that is your top 11. And it's quite close to championship for the top, as now we'll move on to the constructors then for the top 10. AlphaTauri lead with 59 points to their name. They've been the most points they've scored all 3 rounds. They've been the highest scoring team. They've got a 20-point gap to second place, which is Alfa Romeo, which have got 39 points. And then behind them it was Lewis and Felix, but now it's Monster Blue and Felix, who are 22 points off the leader, only 2 points off Alfa Romeo. McLaren then in 4th with 17 points, 20 points off Felix, but 42 points off the constructors leaders at the moment. And then it is Red Bull, which is Thomas and Dillon, 9 points to their name, and they're over 50 points. And then we have Renault, Legende behind, and only scored points on the first round and haven't scored points since. It's been the opposite for Ferrari, didn't score points for the first 2 rounds, but finally scored 8 points last week. Williams with 6 points to their name, as they are 55 points away, 53 points away from the leader. 55 points is James and Semfe, who scored points last week, which is good to see, but still, Racing Point have scored 0 points. And apparently, Big Boy June has 10 seconds penalty, which is added to his race, I believe, today, which is a shame for him, as I know he is a quick driver, so he is going to be unlucky with that. Let's just have a look to make sure. I believe it was from the Hungary incident, as he didn't race last week, so that is unfortunate there. So he has a 10-second penalty.
It's not going to help him out, as we're getting underway. Looks like we were waiting for people at some point, but everyone seems to have got in.
Yep, everyone is indeed here. Well, we've got 19. We ain't got a full lobby, but it's better than what it was for F10, which I was racing at and only had 14. As we have a look at the circuit map, if it loads. So that's 16 corners. And let's see how everybody does in quali, as we do load in, people picking their tyre choices, and we'll do our qualifying prediction when we go onto the grid. Let's wait for everybody else. If you guys got any comments, do leave them down. Nothing right now. I wonder what the weather's going to be like, Kevin. I wonder if it's going to be any wet weather. Oh, no, well. It is absolutely chucking it down. You know, I had to jinx it, you know, commentator's curse already. But, Kevin, I'll let you start.
You were doing a rain dance before this race?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But you do then the qualifying prediction for your top 4 in today's race.
Khalifi first. A few new faces here as well compared to last week. Khalifi first. Big Boy June second, and Felix third. Terrorist fourth. You said top 4, didn't you?
Yeah, top 4. Well then,
that's it.
Okay, that's your top 4 then. James is going to be the first person out on a outlap then on the Haas on full wet tyres, as it's absolutely throwing it down here. Well then, my prediction, I think I'm going to go with Monster Blue. I think he won last week as a reserve on his debut. I think he's got a chance for some big things. Possibly Terrorist is second, maybe Felix third. I know Felix is very good in the wet, and then possibly I'm going to go with an outlier then. I'm going to go with Tibson fourth. I think he could do some in that Williams, as he has scored points for the team. And let's see what they can do. And hopefully the Racing Point team can work together. As AGU and Big Boy June had a bit of a dispute at Hungary, and they were a bit annoyed and almost wanted to change teammates, but that hasn't happened. Big Boy June's got a 10-second time penalty, and AGU had a race ban, but he's now back, and hopefully they can keep a cool head and get under control. You can see there, James really losing the rear end on that Haas already. Must be running a dry setup in quali.
Which would indicate potentially that the race is going to be dry. Pretty much everyone getting straight out there, so it looks like maybe it's going to get heavier.
Could get heavier, to be honest. Well then, as we go on board with James as he's taking the final couple corners, running really wide to get a decent exit. Hopefully he doesn't spin or anything. Hopefully I don't give him a commentator's curse. I've got a nice and tidy exit through the final corner as we get a nice camera shot of the Haas. Coming down the straight, and perfect clean air as the Red Bull of Thomas then, who will be the next on a flying lap after the Haas. We'll keep an eye on both drivers. Oh,
when he's already
twitching a little bit.
Back end is James through turn 2. Had a little moment getting up on the curb a bit too much.
God, look at the traffic in Sector 3. There's loads of traffic in Sector 3. But yeah, this is where there can be overtakes. A bit of contact could happen between you. I do know that, of course. As I had a massive contact with OTP around here. Unfortunately, my wheel messed up as the contact, and it just sent me into the gravel. However, though, oh, James again, correction on the steering wheel again, really correcting it. And I can tell this guy is on pad, the way his inputs are, but he's doing very good right now as he's approaching Sector 2, as he is catching up the traffic ahead, and hopefully he doesn't get his lap ruined by people on outlaps about to begin their flying runs. Oh, runs off! Oh, and he's...
That's his lap pretty much over.
It's
hasn't
over.
Validated, but it's there's no point really finishing that lap.
As I will go on board, if he'll let me go on board with Thomas. As he sees the Haas then, so Thomas will set the provisional pole position lap time. He has a nice helmet design there. Coming into the chicane now. Round the final corner, the Red Bull driver is going. He's up for some more points for the team. And he's coming to the line, and he does a 1:29.455. So we've already broken the 130s as James did a 1:38, but that was invalid. As PB Racing does a 29.945. So only a couple hundreds out.
Not really
invalid,
just slow. I mean, he said it, so
it's Atomic. In the pits with a right end plate there, so he must have gone off somewheres. Tipson does a 31 flat then. Big Boy June does a 29.6.
He puts himself in P2 as a 29.6.
As the next McLaren of Sneaky is up next. We do know him from another league. As he's coming now around the final corner. Let's see what Sneaky can do then, as he's going to improve. And he takes pole position with a 29.1 there, so a very good lap indeed from him. Anybody else beat that lap?
Sneaky PT?
Sneaky... No. Or that's, remember Jorge and them lot from Portugal? That's Sneaky.
Yeah.
That's the lot. And look at the Mercs.
Okay.
1-2. 128.7 there from Monster Blue. Awesome lap, and we've broken the 128s. Great lap from him indeed there, as he will be happy. It's good evening, Hype, welcome, and I am very good. Hopefully you're having a nice day as well, and it's good to see you on stream. As Kevin then, do you want to go on board with James then, as he should be finished off his lap, or is he messed up?
Tier T James, not he.
Yes. I think he's going
actually gone for a consecutive lap then, so around the final corner we'll see what he can do on what should be a bit better of a lap. It's going to be a 31.3.
Yeah.
Doesn't promote him too much, but a bit more representative at least compared to his previous.
Whoa! Lap. There is a racing point there in the gravel. And that is AJU. AJU's already binned it at turn 9. And now there's Frogo and Slater, I think, letting him through. Let's see if anybody else is on a lap. What about the Williams? I think Panos is on a lap right now, Kevin, in sector 2 now. Going to turn 9, and let's see what he can do if you want to go on board his lap.
Who did you say?
Panos, D19.
Okay. Yeah, he's coming to... Okay, yeah, he's not starting. He is on a lap. Coming through, I'm not sure what corner number is there. But regardless, coming through just before the chicane, he has a massive... counter steer moment, and he keeps that on track at least. So now coming through the final corner, he's got a little traffic ahead of him. It's not going to affect him, and he puts that P10 as I think a few more people set laps as he crossed the line. It might have been Snixel, I'm not sure though.
I think you're right. Actually, it might have been Snixel, but I know Sneaky's actually improved. He's done a 128.651 and moves into pole position. And James, oh wow, okay, I knew he was on another quick lap, and I thought James wouldn't even be up there. He made a mistake earlier on, and the rain hasn't really changed. It's still full wet, and he does a 28.3. So we possibly could, if it lightens up, we could go into conditions. We still have 10 minutes left, so still enough time.
Just looking at people who haven't set laps yet, as Raf has spun round at the final corner and he's going to pit. I'm not sure what happened there. Atomic, it looks like he's on his first lap. I did not see him last week. I'm not sure if he was in a championship fight or anything, but he's on a lap if you want to go on board with him.
Well, we are on board with him right now, actually.
Through, he's finished sector 1. I'm not sure if he's up. I said he has a massive counter steer moment, almost loses the car as Monster Blue and Felix both improved. They've put it on a Mercedes 1-2 once again, as it was earlier in quali. Coming through the hairpin now, he is purple, Atomic is, in this middle sector. So this could be a good lap as he gets right up on the curb. We don't really want to be on that curb too much, especially in the wet. Now coming to finish the lap, just the chicane and then the flat out, well not so flat out, maybe in the rain, final corner. There's little corrections here and there, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him massively. We'll see where this has put him. He looked to have a purple middle sector, but that will only be good enough for 11th, 29.7.
Well, he can't be too disappointed, as that's actually his second run. His first run, what he did, he spins it out of turn 2, and he hits the wall. That's another ring replacement there for McLaren. God, he's going to destroy the McLaren's, but it resets the track. If he does that in the race, I think he may get penalised. However, though, we'll go on board with Big Boy German, currently on that. In the racing point, he's hoping to do well today. He's got a 10-second time penalty, so he's got a lot to do. He needs to basically take pole position if he wants to win, and run away, and hopefully for no safety cars, because it could cost him. Right now though, nice and tidy on the racing point. Into turn 5 now we go. Nice and tidy. Rear end is very stable there, and I don't know if he's running medium traction or anything like that, but that rear end was super stable. As he's now going up turn 6 and 7 into 8. Now going into 9, I believe this turn is. Just make sure I'm right with that actually. Yes, I am. It is turn 9. As he now approaches number 10. The turn at number 10 there's the McLaren of Atomic there is off the escape road, which is great, so it doesn't affect Big Boy Jones' lap as he rides that curb, and it's a lot easier to ride that curb this year as last year. Oh, as James retires, as James binned it in the pits, or as James lost it there, Kevin, out of the start-finish straight. We'll get a board on Big Boy Jones.
I'm not completely sure, but I think that was on track. It would make sense. It is possible to lose it through the final corner if you go flat out and turn just a little too much, so I'm assuming that's what he did.
Oh,
as
good
Diego
lap
puts it, P2 splits the two Mercedes.
Yeah, he got slipstream now.
Gets a 28.0. No one has gotten to 27s yet, but of course, quite a few people quite close to it. You would expect by the end someone to slip into the 27s. 7 minutes left, of course, as well.
It's true. Is now on board with Raph, Kevin, if you want to go on board. Currently in 19th right now. Hasn't done a lap time yet, but hopefully, I believe it is a reserve. But let's see what that person can do.
And he's invalidated already, it looks like.
Oh, he has. He's actually invited this in the next lap.
For it.
That's a shame. Then we'll go on board with somebody else. Oh, that's Teresa. Moved up to 9th. He is a title contender. Isn't in a good position at the moment. Currently 7/10 down off the lead, and the grid's really close. I've got to say, all the way from first down to. Actually, no, he's not 7/10. He's more than 7/10, I believe, isn't he? No, I read that wrong. That was the other FRL driver. But the grid's quite close there, though. From first all the way to, I'll say 12, roughly a second gap there, and then there's another second between there. Aldo Teresa is purple at the moment, Kevin, if you want to finish off his lap.
Yes, he gets a little, not the best exit, if you want to put it like that. A little uneasy on traction. He's uneasy there as well. Not going to affect him too much, but all these little bits will add up as he goes a little wide. He doesn't invalidate, luckily. That corner can be a little annoying sometimes with track limits, but he gets through it just fine. Coming up to the hairpin now to start the final sector. A little lockup, it looks like there. He went a little deep, so that won't help him out, especially in his exit from the final corner. There's a few cars up ahead of him. We'll see if they are on laps as well. Might be seeing a few laps being set now. Coming through the final chicane, we'll see how his exit is, and he's actually pitting, Jared.
Yeah, that's actually surprising, but I am actually wondering why Schnitzel is getting the intermediate tyres ready. So he's expecting the rain to die down. It has died down a little bit from what I said earlier. And he did do 5 laps on those tyres, maybe that's why he's pit, but he's dropped to 10th. Someone's just improved, and I believe that's PB Racing. PB Racing there moved into 5th place in the Renault. I don't know if he's a full driver yet. Let's have a look on the standings. I believe PB. No, he isn't, so I believe he's a reserve at the moment, so that is new for me then. So he is a new reserve, and he's doing very good in the Renault right now, currently in 5th place.
Yeah, he seems to be. Seems to be advantage Monster Blue. Of course, last week out he took the win, so that must boost his confidence at least. Very, very small gaps. I mean, the top 4 separated by no more than 2/10, and you can do the math yourself. That's a very, very small margin. You can easily gain 2/10 through just cleaning up a few corners. So any one of realistically 5 drivers could take the pole today. We haven't seen anyone get into the 27s just yet, as Finley crosses, was going to cross the line, but he pits it.
As Raff was a 29.4, moves into 14th.
That lap off.
It's a shame to see a Williams at the back of the grid though, Kevin. 19th right now, and one of the Ferraris in 17th. It reminds me of real life Ferrari. Unfortunately not doing that well. But Jerry, he missed, I believe, last week. I believe. Let's have a look. Yes, he did. He DNF'd the first 2 rounds, and unfortunately, he didn't make the next race. And unfortunately, with the first round, he got took out by his teammate. And ironically, it was at Austria. So hopefully that doesn't happen today in Spain, and let's see if he can actually get some points on the board and help the Ferrari team bounce back in the constructors fight. As right now though, he is in 17th on a flying lap. Has anybody gone out on intermediates yet, Kevin?
I'm not sure. I mean, no one's set laps on them at least.
Oh, actually, yeah, there is a few people on
Somebody
out
with Snixel is on an out lap. Terror Racer is on Inters. Interestingly, Ewan McGregor is.
Jerry's gone into the wall with the rear end there a little bit, and just rided that curb, lost it. But who is ahead on the intermediates? That's what I want to know, so we can go on board. And I'll see. I believe it actually might be Terrorist. Let's have a look. Terrorist is here. Anybody on intersection laps? So yep, Terrorist then is the first one to go on the intermediates here, Kevin, as it slides the rear end at the back end there. If you want to go on board and come to it over his lap.
Yeah, coming down the start finish straight for the Alpha driver. You want to get up on the curb to get yourself a little bit of an angle coming through turn 1, and then they'll help you out also in turn 2. You don't want to get up on the curb in turn 2 either, as we saw someone else spin there earlier, a few people actually. Once again, same concept for turn 4. Get up on the curb on the entry to give yourself a little bit of a line. Seems to be quite planted right now, not having to correct the car too much, as he has a little moment there, but nothing too serious. Coming through turns 6 and 7, I think that is. Yeah, it is actually, I'm pretty sure. Now coming down the back straight, the hairpin he locked up here last time. We'll see what he can do now. And you can hear a little bit of lock up there. That might be the Codemaster, so it didn't look to affect him too much. Coming through the final few corners, coming up to the final chicane. Final chicane very crucial, because the exit will affect your run all the way to the finish line. As someone else improved there, I think that might have been AJ. No name didn't improve. Sneaky might have though. He crosses the line to go P3 was a 28.0. He doesn't get into the 27s, interestingly. You would think the interest would be that much quicker, but he hasn't been able to make them work just enough to get to pole.
It must be on the crossover point then, as he's only a thousandth off Diego Gello, who actually set them on wets. Schnitzel then moves into 6th place. And someone has just destroyed that lap there, and that's Clayfeet. Done a 27.7 on the intermediate, so we finally got someone in the 27s, and he's looking for another podium streak. This guy has been on 3 podium streaks all season round, and he's still on a flying lap right now, as we've got 14 seconds of the sessions. We're going board with our championship points leader, as he has the Williams ahead. In 17th is Panos. Purple again in sector 1, so Clayfeet's up by 2.5 tenths right now, so people on wet, they've made a mistake and they ain't going to be improving that much. As quality, a bit of a lock up on both tyres. Williams needs to get out of the way. I don't know if Panis is on a lap. He could be on a lap, but he's affecting Khalifi. As Khalifi there gets a good on Panos, there you go, sensible, moves onto the gravel, gets out of the way.
I've just watched Terror Racer go round. Just after the hairpin, he hasn't crashed out. He has retired though, I think. Oh, he hasn't actually.
That might have been Finley.
So good on him for not retiring on track. But he seemed to be going for a quicker lap. He had a purple sector 1 after the lap to put him in what is now 4th. But yeah, he looked to be trying to go a little quicker, but it didn't work out for him. We have Monster Blue and Diego both on laps. Felix Negor is also on a lap. Khalifi has finished his lap.
Khalifi was a 27.3. Wow, 7 tenths now, quicker than Monster Blue then, and still goes 3rd place. As we go on board with Monster Blue then, as actually we go on board with Felix. Actually, he is the lead. Merc, oh hang on, Terrace has binned it into the wall, and I don't know why it's done that. Glitch there where it doesn't let me select. As he comes to the line now then, Felix moves to 2nd place, but what about Monster Blue? Will he take pole position? No, he does a
No.
27. So,
Jeez,
Khalifa.
Khalifi just...
Oh, Diego Gello. Ferrari in the
Khalifi
second
seemed to...
place. 27.4. That's the first time we've seen the Ferrari actually in this tier of Diego Gello be up there. And he's in second place currently, and nobody else is actually going to be finishing their laps, as they've either finished the lap or they're in the pits. So, great job there for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, I was gonna say Khalifi just dominated everyone else, but now Diego set a .4. He almost took pole there. There was only 300ths of a second, or 32 thousandths. So barely anything between them, really. I don't think you'd see much of a difference if you put those laps side by side. It's still going. That's for C5 being in the pit.
Yeah, I think he's retired. Excuse me for yawning. As Pepper Motorsport then says, go Atomic, go Sneaky. So the Pepper Motorsport team or Pepper Motorsport are chanting on the McLarens, and hopefully they can do well. Then the official results. Khalifa then in the AlphaTauri, the championship points leader, taking top step in quali with a 27.3, but points can't be awarded in quali unfortunately. With the Ferrari, Diego Gello in second, Monster Blue in the Merc in third. Felix gets a better qualifying result than he's had, now in fourth. Schnitzel fifth. Terrace in sixth. Then we've got Sneaky on the wet tyres in seventh, so the lead wet runner. PB Racing eighth. James ninth. Big Boy June in 10th. Raf 11th. Finley 12th. AJU in 13th, coming back from a race ban. Jerry is in 14th. Tomic 15th. Thomas is in 16th. Panos 17th. 18th is Semfi. 19th is Tibson, and both Williams drivers near the back of the grid like real life, which is a shame, except George Russell actually can make it into Q2. However, let's see what the weather will be like in the race, and we will do our race prediction then very shortly as we wait for the drivers to adjust their setups.
Mine, I already have mine. Monster, Felix, Khalifi, then Diego. So Mercedes gets a good start and then controls the race from there, I think.
Okay then, well, I'm going to go with Khalifa. I think he's going to take the win. I think he's got the pace to do it, of course. Maybe Felix a close second with Diego Gello third. But don't count Monster Blue either. I think he's going to get a fourth. But he could surprise me. He could even win this race. He did win last week, so... but don't count the McLarens. They've been very good on race pace, as Pepper Motorsport does say go Atomic and Sneaky, as I said earlier. So we could see the McLarens as well waiting in the wings if there is a crash or anything, as we now wait for the people to make their race strategies. As we should be going on the formation lap very shortly, I think, in the next couple of seconds. And the lobby isn't glitched, which is awesome. So the formation lap is underway then. And we will get everything up and running, and there we go then. So everybody well, everybody except Monster Blue and Panos are on soft and hard. Everybody else is on mediums, so that is a very interesting strategy call for Monster Blue in third place.
Who is in eighth? Because I can't see his name.
Eighth is PB Racing in the Renault.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing you got the glitch where it shows no name.
Yeah, I can see everyone else, but not his.
Yeah, I know that glitch is so annoying. I had the glitch where in another league, Matthew Aldale, CRG Blizzard was actually Luke 2 Red, and once when I was in F10, my name was Powdy, even though it's not. So yeah, as Bill Jones already been disqualified in the formation lap, which is a shame. He's not going to be liking that. But championship points leader, will he take a fourth podium in a row? Does he still think that he's got the luck on him? He's done the qualifying, he's done 50%. Now he needs to do the race as he's warming up his tyres. And you can really go side to side, left, right, to warm your tyres up on the mediums. And softs I wouldn't, because you're going to wear out your tyres quite easily. So I'd just say back up on your softs and then floor it. Just trying to get some heat into them. As I like the feature though, that where in Formation Lap now you can get tyre wear. It's a lot more, I don't say challenging, but it plays more of a strategy in the count then. As then we see the AlphaTauri then going to the final corner now, as everybody else hasn't got issues. There McLaren gone off on the formation lap there. Is that Atomic? Atomic's actually in 15th. Like it, yeah. I didn't even realise he was 15th. That's a shame for Atomic then, he's in a poor qualifying position. as usually the McLarens are quite up here, like usually 3rd and 4th. But then we will get ready for the race start. And if you guys want to put your prediction, do leave them in the comments. I will read them out later in the race or midway through, or when I can. As Hype saying, let's go, and I agree, let's get on with this race as soon as possible. As I don't know what the next week track is. I think it is actually Spa, which it is Spa next week. Alright then, so we're going light sequence. Kevin, if you can look at the back of the grid, and I'll look at the front in case there's a massive crash where a car's gone flipping over. So now we're up to 5 red lights to start the PSGL Season 26 F6 Round 4 race at Spain. And it's been an alright start from Khalifi, as the racer points behind are trying to squabble their way through the field. As ASU now moves into 10th, and the Ferrari there is defending the Mercedes of Monster Blue, as Felix has had an awful start there, already dropping to almost 5th place there. No crashes in the turn, which is awesome. Oh, as they're going side by side, on board with terrorists right now. Felix is parking a bus.
Oh, and there's been a crash between,
oh, there's a massive crash.
Jerry Finley and James. James is out. Jerry's got damage. Finley's got major damage. He's going to have to pit the virtual safety car. That definitely is worth a full safety car, but okay, game. Yeah, massive crash. They went basically they went 3 wide. Finley, James, and Jerry. I think it was Jerry in between them. Finley and James was trying to squeeze each other, and since Jerry stuck his nose in, they kind of just turned into him, and there was no turning back from that after that point, and caused a massive crash. And of course James isn't going to be happy with that. He's out after 3 corners. Finley and Jerry as well, wing damage. They're going to have to pit. It looks pretty severe, especially for Finley. So
oh
yeah,
no,
massive crash
the race
already.
leader, he's got to drive through speeding under the VSC. Oh, that's going to ruin him. He needs now a safety car later in this race, so he's going to have to pit, do his drive-through. So this could leave the Ferrari of Diego Gillett looking for a win. As right now they're on board with Monster Blue on the hard compound of tyres, as it's now doing the awesome glitch as it always does of the field.
As it's just dropping down the grid.
As the DRS isn't enabled, I don't know why Control is saying DRS is enabled. But right now then, Monster Blue is in 3rd place. Yeah, 3rd place. But Felix is really...
Actually, no, he's in front of him.
Felix is actually trying to get by, to be honest.
Yeah. Monster is in front of Felix and Khalifi. Yeah, Khalifi, Diego, Monster, Felix, and it's kind of sorted out now. So.
As Hype says, that crash was like Rojan, and unfortunately I didn't see the full extent of it, but Kevin did, and it did look like it. Right now, though, Felix a bit of a twitch there on the Mercedes. Probably getting a bit under pressure, and he's probably getting held up, and he's probably wanting Monster Blue just to say, get out of the way, I'm on the mediums, I'm on the quicker tyre. Let's focus on the team game here. But right now, Monster Blue is parking the bus and holding Felix up. As right now the gap to the lead is 7 to 9 tenths, but I know Khalifi has a drive-through, so he will be peeling into the pits very shortly, as we'll keep an eye on other fights further down the grid.
And speaking of fights, it looks like Felix is right behind his teammate. It obviously has DRS now as well.
Well, it does now.
Monster looks to be defending to the left. Felix is going to go down the inside for turn 1. Will he have it done before the corner? It looks like he will. Monster, of course, on the hards, Felix on the mediums, so not too much of a fight put up by Monster, and Felix can now push on to try and catch the top 2. Both of them on mediums. Of course, Khalifi does have that drive-through, so he's going to have to come back through the field. So really, it's actually, I was going to say a 3-horse race, but actually there's a massive train for the lead, so not so much.
Well, that is true, and let's go on the positions gained on the past 3 laps. The biggest losers was James. He lost 10 positions with that crash. The biggest winner currently is actually Tipson. He's 14th. His teammate is in 13th. Both gained a lot of positions. And the Mercedes have just done the switch. So, oh, there's a bit... Oh, hang on. There is a racing point there. And, oh, there's a crash. Massive crash there. That's AJU into the wall. I don't know what he was playing out there. He just, like, lost complete control. McLaren tried to avoid him. And let's have a look at Atomic. Has he got damage? Let's have a look. No damage on the McLaren, so I think he's got away scot-free. Very lucky indeed. There's Big Boy Jones actually looking to possibly make a move. He's getting really hungry as Khalifa then finally peels into the pits As we'll keep an eye on the battle for the front though, for 3rd place. Atomic actually might be able to make a move. Tibson. Oh, and there's a move ahead between the both Red Bulls. Thomas gets ahead of his teammate. That probably says unreal how Atomic kept it straight. I have to agree. As Edgy left, and that's unfortunate then, so he will not be allowed to rejoin. Aldo back for the battle for P4, I'm guessing. As it's the Mercedes of Felix is now pulling away from Monster Blue, currently the gap now 1.1 seconds. And Kevin, speaking about Monster Blue, do you think he's made the best strategy on the hard tyres?
Well, I mean, obviously starting where he is, everyone around him is on medium, so by the end of this race he is going to be coming back at everyone. Of course, he's losing time to Felix. Felix 1.
Oh my God! There is a Red Bull. That is Raf. Yet again, it's somebody losing that at turn 9. That's a second time. Is there something on the grass? Oh, luckily ghosting. If it wasn't ghosting then, he would have killed Khalifi. And yet again, no damage, luckily. But what's going on with turn 9? Is there something wrong with that corner? Do you have any issues with turn 9? Do you understand why these drivers are losing it?
Well, I mean, up on the curb, well, yeah, on the exit, if you get up on the curb, if you don't have the traction down right, you can lose the back end a little bit, and obviously that can turn into a slide, so I would say that's kind of what is happening. Probably that they're taking the entry a bit too quick, which is sending them wide. A bit of the clip of the gravel can also help out with that in that corner. So, yeah, I think that could be a contributing factor, as Raf has retired for some reason.
Yeah,
He's just retired in the pits.
I think a bit of rage quit there, as we just saw there, as you're on about that. Terrace got past Schnitzel, and then Schnitzel tried to go on the outside, but then quickly had to go to the inside, avoid a crash. So he's lost the position, and now he's under threat by the McLaren of Sneaky, who's getting really close, and as you can see there, we on board with PB Racing right now. He could make a double overtake on Schnitzel. As Hype says, on the wheel, the wheel saves look so much better, and I have to agree. Wheel saves do look more better than pad, but it's easy to drift on pad on this game for some reason. But right now then, back for the battle for P4.
It looks like Sneaky's gonna get past Snixel here. He's Snixel's going to defend to the inside, which will allow Sneaky to go right around the outside, and a bit more grip on the outside, better line, and he's gonna go right by there. But is he actually gonna come back at him? No. He's gone a little wide, and this might allow Bryn to get past now as well. He's gonna send it down the inside. He's gonna try and
and there's contact!
On his no,
don't reverse and don't
Snixel's, no, I think that was desync, because on Snixel's,
left.
I was on board with Snixel. He gave loads of space and wasn't hit. I thought that Bryn just spun on his own. Obviously not, but yeah, that was desync, I think, it looks like.
It might have been desynced, and just confirmation, I think AJU's actually left the league. I don't know why, he only crashed, there wasn't actually contact, so I think he's had enough, so maybe at this point team may have to hire a new driver. But right now though, back to the battle for P4 now, as Monster Blue's doing an amazing job. Hard tyres, 5 laps, and still keeping up with Felix, which is great to see. His mediums may start to die, and Panos is in 8th place, 6 lap old softs. He's doing a very good job on those soft tyres. Actually, is that the Williams fighting? It is. The Williams is in attack. Tipson wants Panos, as we'll see the teammates fighting. Oh, he's bit of dirty air, and there's yellows. Is that Atomic? It is. Atomic is into the barrier, same place where he crashed in quali. Oh, don't get disqualified, whatever you do. And yet again, twice now he's binned, and he's binned it again. Oh, and he's into the barrier. I don't know what's going on with the McLaren driver. He's around and he needs to get control of the car as soon as possible. I'll go back for the battle for P8 right now, as the battle for P3 ain't really changing anything, but we will keep an eye on that. As here comes Tipson now. Is he getting close? Not yet. Do you think Tibson's going to be on the tyre advantage very soon here, Kevin? Because he looks has a lot more grip.
It looks like he certainly has. He's in the hairpin as well. He was able to brake much later, and on the exit he had so much more grip. You can just see, if you're on board with him, how much more grip he has. I would expect him to have this moved on before the
Atomic's retired.
Well before turn 1.
Atomic's binned it at turn 8.
Safety car, he's not... Tibson had a run on his teammate. He was certainly gonna make that move without the safety car, but safety car just kind of said no, and he's gonna have to stick behind his teammate. That will actually help him out as well, Panos, to make a stop after starting on those softs. Someone that won't help out though is Monster Blue. He started on hards. This safety cars came about 10 laps too early for him.
Oh yeah, that is actually the case, because usually you'd pit from mediums on lap 13 to lap 10 roughly, and then the person who has helped out, who got a drive through, Khalifi, he's on hards now and trying to catch up with the pack as he passes the safety car. For some reason he slowed down there. I think he was the race leader there for a second, but he isn't the race leader, he is in 12th. But what about Diego Gello? He's been controlling the pace, 1.9 now to 2 seconds the gap was. And unfortunately all that gap he gained is now lost, and it is a shame for the Ferrari driver, but will he peel into the pits, Kevin?
I would say so. I'd say that Felix and Diego are both going to be coming into the pits now. Diego comes into the pits, and I would assume Felix, yeah, he's going to follow him. Monster Blue stays out, Terror Racer comes in, he hits the little thingy there. I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, pretty much everyone is in the pits. You can see Monster Blue stays out. Tibson's staying out, interestingly, on the mediums.
Oh, Diego gets held up. Oh, Diego's actually been jumped by Felix.
Out, I would say.
Oh, look at this. Sneaky. Oh, I thought Sneaky jumped Felix there, but Terrace in front of Felix now. Felix and Diego Gello, they got massively held up in the pits. And Felix is now in 4th, and Terracer is out at front as Tibson, actually. Didn't pit on the mediums.
Yeah, I mentioned, I don't know why he's done that. I mean, his teammate was obviously pitting ahead of him, but he would have gained so much more by pitting on the safety car, compared to how much he's going to lose now by pitting. He's going to be like 20 seconds behind. Everyone else should be going to the end now. So he's lost that massively. I don't know why he's done that.
Well, the top two haven't pit, and yeah, you are right. Monster Blue is in a lot of trouble. He now needs another safety car near the end of the race if he switches tyre, which could help him out. But Tibson, now he's on an interesting strategy. Is he going medium, soft? If he was going medium, soft, actually, he would have pit. So maybe he's trying to stretch his mediums even longer to go for the soft strategy, possibly, and he may think that is an option, or he may try and help his teammate.
I don't think he's going to be going straight to the softs, but if he's going like a medium soft, maybe as well. I mean, everyone will have fresh softs, so I mean, he might be going for a medium soft to stretch his medium stint. But I mean, still though, it was a no-brainer to pit for hards. Everyone behind him won't be making another stop. He'll have to make another one, and if it's the softs, he'll have to make 2 more than everyone else. So
and he stays out.
Yeah, it's that. Well, actually, it's 1 more, but 2 more if you think of everyone behind it at a free pit stop. So.
Someone's just messaged the chat and it hasn't actually. Oh, Raph saying got dirt, yeah, and my tyres overheated because my teammate let me brake. I'm not going to say that word. So I think Rap's actually really annoyed, to be honest, and may report his teammate. Well, unfortunate there for you, and hopefully we can see you next week. But however, though, Monster Blue is in a world of trouble. He won last week. His possible win this week is in jeopardy on hard tyres. Felix and Terrace could be guys to actually get a win, and Terrace could finally get a win under his belt. As he hasn't won, he's been very close. Austria was close to winning, but penalties changed that. Same at Hungary, and that safety car and penalties changed that as well. So have to wait and see then as people are warming up their tyres. And I wonder if safety car is going to come in this lap. Oh no! Terrace has bottled it under the bloody safety car. Bottle, and that is a Roman Grosjean moment, and Big Boy Junior has to let him back through. And Terrace, what's Terrace doing? Why is he just past Panos? You can't actually do that.
Panos did go a little slow on the left. I'm not sure, but I mean, Panos was going a little slow in his defense, though. Nixel also went through as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's weird. Well then, safety car is in this lap then, and I was just annoyed, not actually, and like angry or anything. But it was my fault though. Didn't it? Oh, that's unfortunate there, Raf. Hopefully you can do better. Although Monster Blue then is the race leader, and his teammate is in third. So maybe Felix now will be happy as Senfi's got a 5-grid place penalty. Sorry, 5-second penalty for hitting PB Racing. As we're underway, and Monster Blue now goes green, and Tipson then.
And you can see, look, Felix already pulled out over a second gap to Sneaky. His start was obviously a lot better.
Panos might be making a move on Schnitzel. Panos is on the inside, gets the position. Sabe said, oh, Schnitzel fights back. Oh, something, oh, bit of contact there. Wing to tyre, that isn't the best scenario. And you were right there, Kevin. And Schnitzel's struggling, but will Panos make a lunge? No, it currently stays behind. Although we'll keep an eye on Felix. Currently, we'll try and catch up with Tipson, who's on old mediums, 10-lap old. And Felix is technically our net leader, so we could actually see Felix finally win a race.
He could. I mean, he was saying in Austria that him and Prager could have got a 1-2. Obviously that didn't happen because of some things not going their way. I'm sure that he would like a win. His teammate seems to have the pace as well. I don't think that he'll be he won't be as well off as everyone else, having already pit and going to the end, but he will have the benefit of having much fresher tyres compared to everyone else, because the medium runners wouldn't have pit until around now. So there is that his tyres should be much better at the end. So and I mean, you can see actually he's kind of pulling away from Felix and the rest of the guys there.
Alright, Tim's actually doing a very good job. Me and Felix have raced with him before in PSGL F3 when I was in F3 last season, and he was quite quick. Even I couldn't keep up with him, and even Felix sometimes would struggle. But Tipson doing very well on those old mediums, keeping up with Monster Blue, and in theory the hards should be pulling away and should be a lot better compared to Monster Blue's hard and Felix's. But right now medium tyres are looking strong on Tipson's car, as he's still out in second place.
But he is.
I think there's a fight.
Will he be making a move soon though? It doesn't look like he's close enough. Felix has got back within DRS range, 7/10 about the gap. Sneaky's also closing up to Felix once again. After the restart, him not getting the best launch. And Diego's, yeah, they're pretty much all following within about 6/10 of each other. As Diego sets the fastest lap. But yeah, this it seems like Tipson kind of closes up by the end of the straight, but he can't stay there for the lap to be able to make the move the next lap. I think is his problem, as I think that was Bryn getting a pen there. PB Racing.
I believe it was. But yeah, this is the issue with this track, dirty air, and hopefully when the 2020, well, it was 2021, but now 2022, hopefully when those regulations kick in, we can finally have overtakes around here instead of on the straight. But look, unfortunately the car's going to be a lot wider and a lot more uglier, I might say. The front end's alright, but the rear wing is just disgustingly wide, and just got to wait till then, until we can see actually some overtakes, better overtakes at Spain. But Tipson still out on those mediums, doing a very good job. Oh, and there's a fight behind. Oh no, that isn't what I think it is. It is Big Boy Jewin has bottled probably, and has he got a punch or anything? No. no wing damage. I think he's just binned it. As let's tip some pits. No, set up for another lap. This time though, Felix is a lot closer. We'll go on board with Felix, see how close he can get, as the medium strategy would be open now. Oh, and there's more yellows. Is that Semphy, Kevin, who's just... Has Semphy got damage in the Haas? This big boy doing is in the pits. And speed, and I think he's going to retire. Yep.
He's weaving anyway. Hopefully he's not planning on crashing out. But Semphy... Oh, well, he's just spun it. I mean, it looked very intentional. It's just I don't understand people. It's like, just if you're frustrated, just go to the pits and retire your car. Don't go.
Well, he's left PSGL as well
around
now.
The track.
Apparently, so both racing points have now gone. Lost for words. Oh, Felix, a bit of correction on the car. In the Merc, although back to a live event. Sneaky is looking hungry for a win in the McLaren, and
Semphy just intentionally took himself out, and now
he's caused the VSC.
I literally have a perfect clip of it.
Yeah, save that.
It was the most intentional thing I've ever seen.
Okay, well, Tipson's in, so he's gonna salvage in a way with this VSC. Felix then in second place. Finally, the Merc's in a 1-2. As the VSC is causing a headache for these lot. Sneaky's actually dropped a lot back from Felix. Hopefully no one tries to exploit the VSC and get a drive through. Let's see what Diego Gilden can do. See if he can get a good result. As we go green, 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 and oh, Jerry's going to drive through in the Ferrari in 12th, speeding apparently under the VSC, but look at Sneaky, very close to Felix, bit of correction on the wheel, and there's another crash. Is that Jerry now retiring, or is that just him making a mistake? I think he made a mistake. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Oh well. So we're on board the back of the McLaren with Thomas and Diego Gilda fighting. Close behind, very close, and he's gaining time. As Felix then pulls away, as you sure these hards can go to the end?
Yeah, I don't think they would have picked them if they can. I mean, they're quite a durable tyre. So I've just caught Panos going for a move on Snixel. He went to the inside, but as he did, Snixel defended to the inside. Almost had contact, but luckily he gets away with it and he's up to P7. But yeah, I think the hards definitely can go to the end. They'll be a little bit dead at the end as well, but I think it's certainly possible. Yeah.
Jerry's retired in the pits. Well, at least he retired in the
possible,
pits. I'll give him that. At least he retired in the pits, not on track. That's a fourth, well, technically a fourth DNF. He didn't start last week, so he's on a losing streak at the moment. And last person who did that was actually Machine Fishy in F3, who just DNF'd and did not start any of the other races after he was just struggling all season. And Semphy has left the session, or he's actually retired. Oh yeah, he caused the VSC. Well, Thomas now picks up a penalty. And Felix is still doing what he needs to do. Gap to his teammates 2 seconds. And keeping that gap steady. Is Diego catching? Not really, but I think there's a possible fight for P8. Finley's getting close. Actually, the Renault PB Racing is getting very close. Thinking about it, sends it to send his nose on it, but can't make it right now. There is a gap, very close. Finley then holds 9th place with PB Racing in 10th. Now look back to the battle up for 2nd place. Sneaky holding Diego right now. And we only have 12 runners left Do you think there's going to be any more DNFs in this race, Kevin?
Well, it looks like there's a really slow. Is that must be a glitched Ferrari? Because I'm pretty sure that Ferrari car is of Jerry. And
Yeah, he retired.
Jerry has retired, so there's just a Ferrari car just going around ghosted.
Alright, so that's
a
another
great game you have, Codemasters.
Another glitch. But, hopefully that doesn't cost anybody overtakes or anything, because that can be possibly reported and a possible penalty. Even though he's not here.
Well, no, I don't. You can't really penalise anyone. It's no one's fault. I think it's that Jerry retired in the pits, like you're meant to, and like basically an AI car will just take over.
Oh, hang on, he's pitting again
for you and continue.
Is he going back in the pits? He has gone back in the pits.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's not Jerry though. Jerry, I don't think is even in the session.
What's going on?
He retired in the pits earlier.
Well, this is Cody's. I think he's saving his drive-through. I think he got a drive-through. I think it's glitched because he had a drive-through. I wonder if I can select his car. No, I can't. I think now he'll retire now, though, since he's saved his drive-through. Will he? No. Alright then, well, we'll keep an eye on the battles behind. As I don't really... may have lost a bit of motivation, but there aren't actually any overtakes at the moment happening. It's just basically a stalemate. Gaps are staying the same. As one lap number 18, I had a 33.
Monster will certainly have to pit soon. I mean, he can't take them to the end because of the tyre allocations. He has to use one mandatory tyre, which is medium or hard, and then one other compound.
And Jerry's actually finally pulled up, so I think it's because his AI wanted to do the drive-through. You know, Cody's get that much money, they make a game and it's completely just awful. Give it a 2k, you know, come on guys, just give it a 2k, they'll make a better job. Well, back to Felix. Gap now to his teammate 1.7 seconds, so those hards are starting to die, and I know hards can go very long. I think Monster Blue probably will pit on lap 25, go softs, but he might go lap 25 and go mediums. I think that's the stretch he's going to have to do and stretch these tyres. And the tyres actually looking very good, Nick. There's possibly a bit of blistering on the right rear, but other than that, that Mercedes is looking perfect condition right now, and he's doing a good job stabilising the gap again to 1.9 seconds.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Like, Felix really should be closing that gap. I mean, he has like 10 laps fresher tyres. I mean, the hards may not be quick, but I mean, with the 10 lap difference, he really should be closing that gap quite a bit more. And actually, in that last sector, he gained like 2 or 3 tenths. So I guess Felix heard me, and he's getting a move on now as he's within 1.4 now. So I guess he's really pushing as Niki and Diego and pretty much a whole train behind him is getting pulled along with him. Monster won't like this because
ooh, bit of a lock
would rather that Felix just keeps everyone behind, as you said, a lockup. I think that was a Codemasters lockup though. I don't think he actually locked up. It didn't look like he was really affected at all. So yeah, Monster will not like the fact that Felix seems to be closing a little bit and bringing 1, 2, 3, 4 guys with him.
Well, that could be the case, how they're going on PB Racing, and there's a massive train to get past Schnitzel here, and it's costing Khalifi. He's just behind these lot, and he's going to lose so much time. Now let's go the gap to leader from him. It's 10.6 seconds, so Monster Blue could actually be out of the points, and that could hurt him in the championship fight, and that actually could possibly, let's have a look at the standings right now. If Felix won this race, is at 16 points, he ain't going to take the championship lead, but he could take second place. He could. Oh, there's now actually Khalifi's making a move.
On PB Racing now. He's going to go around the outside. There's another battle just ahead of these guys. There's PB squeezes him out, makes sure that Khalifi is not coming past right now. So I guess that works out for him, and Khalifi has to stay behind for a little longer. But he seems to be putting the pressure on a bit more. He's running a little closer to him now. So yeah, we'll see how that develops. Speaking of development, Felix is now within 1.4 seconds almost, getting into 1.3. You can see him a lot clearer now. Still bringing Sneaky with him. I'm sure Felix would rather that he wasn't bringing anyone with him. If he pushed for a lap, maybe he could break that. 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths of a gap. If he could break that DRS, then it could help out Sima quite a lot. Which, by the way, his teammates brought these tires way past their expiry date, I think. 21 lap old hards, usually the pit lap would be like lap 18. He's definitely hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, he definitely is. Schnitzel then is in 8th, gain on Panos now. So Panos has made a mistake, but here comes Finley. Oh, very late going for that move. Doesn't make it work, and now is under threat by PB. Right behind in 10th place, looking for that extra point. Currently his fastest lap is held actually for the extra point with the fastest lap is by Teresa, currently in 6th place with an 18.2. And Felix's personal best time is 18.5, so Felix has improved from his personal best and still getting strong pace at the moment, as we will keep an eye on the battle for the lead. But right now we're going to stay on board with this battle further down for 7th place. So there's 2 separate trains. So the top train is F1 and then the bottom train is F2 basically right now. And then there's an F3 with Tibson and AJU, but AJU's not here, so ooh, bit of banging there on the front wing. Ooh, Snizzler, massive lock-up on that left front. And Felix is safe as we're going to stay on board with PB. Is he going to get a good run this time? As hang on, what's happening to Khalifi? Why is he pit? Why is Khalifi pit?
Maybe he's
oh, he might be
sure,
going for
maybe
fastest
he thinks
lap.
that he just wants a little. Yeah, that too, but I think maybe he thinks if he goes on mediums, he could catch the guys ahead who are on a bit older hards and have a bit easier of a time passing them. They are quite a bit up the road, but if he can really push, he might be able to catch them.
He could do that actually. Felix then has closed the gap now to 1.2 seconds. So he's really gaining and he's closing up, and I guarantee Total Wolff will be smashing his keyboard or whatever he's doing in that Mercedes garage and hoping for 1-2. But now he knows that 1-2 is in tatters as Monster Blue needs to pit and still doesn't pit, and is getting caught by his teammates. So there may be team orders in play very soon as Felix is trying to stretch that gap from Stinky. Put away a little bit now to 7 tenths, but then it just gets cut all the way back up down the straight as Panos peels into the pits for the tyre strat and going on possibly another fresh set of mediums to the end of the race. However then, right now Sneaky is, I've got to say, the guys from 2nd all the way to 6th have done an awesome job to stay within this train and not lose time. Like, they've managed to keep with the leader.
I mean, it is true. There were times where Felix pulled out a pretty decent gap, but I guess he pushed to get them gaps, and then since he couldn't push anymore and didn't break the DRS, then Sneaky was able to close back up, and it seems to kind of be the case with the whole train. Felix will just kind of go a bit quick, get a gap, and then they'll close back up as Monster finally pits off these hard tires that he's brought 23 laps. He was probably extending the stint to go to softs. There's only 5.9. Oh no, they are mediums. Never mind. He is going to come out in 9th or 10th. It looks like he might be beat. He is actually going to come out in 10th. Of course, he'll have much fresher tyres, so he'll have that up his sleeve. As Panos gets a 3-second pen.
Yeah, and Panos actually makes move on Khalifi, our championship points leader. And our championship point leader does set the new fast lap of an 18.1. But that lap's probably going to get smashed by Panos. His current fastest lap is a 1:18.8. And I believe they're on the medium. So on the softs now, fresh air, he can probably set a quicker lap. But I've got to say, the championship leader is doing a very disappointing job today. And it looks like he won't be on the podium the way it's going, unless there's a massive crash and a safety car. As we'll say about the Panos then, since he's on a very quick lap. As we'll basically instruct it like a quality lap. And let's see how he does then. Approaching now the car destroyer turn 9, where you just touch the curb and you're gone. But nice and tidy there. He's got a lot of grip and pulling away. Let's see what his sector time is. A 50.4, so he's 1.1 seconds up. So he's going to smash that fastest lap. He's going to do a 17. As he's now in sector 3. Then he's got Khalifi all over the back of him though, so I've got to give Khalifi some credit. Doing a very good job in the AlphaTauri there to hold and keep up with him. As right now then, as we get a nice nose cam around the final corner. What time will it be? And it's a 1:16.9, so in the 16 second. That's a great lap for him, and he ain't going to get the fast lap point at the moment because he is in 11th, but could possibly catch up with Monster Blue in 10th, 9.5 seconds up the road.
That is, it is true. Obviously, the softs are quite a lot faster. I'm pretty sure the compounds are 2 steps. I'm not sure if it's 2 steps. Actually, nah, it probably isn't 2 steps. But I mean, they are obviously soft versus medium, so they will be quite a bit quicker. 10-second gap about. There is 8 laps remaining, including this one, as Felix comes around the final corner to start lap 27. So 7 laps remain now. Sneaky just behind him. It's kind of hovering over 8/10 now. If Felix can just break DRS just once, I would say Diego will be able to get alongside Sneaky, and then if they fight a little, then Felix can really get away. But Felix just isn't able to get that little bit extra that he needs to pull that gap at the moment. And for now, it's just kind of going to be single file, it seems.
As Monster Blue then, it moves into 9th then, so he did get ahead of Tipson eventually, and Tipson's on the hards. I don't know why. He could have gone, but because he started me, that's why. So if I was him, I would have pitted very early on to actually alter that. I don't know what Tipson's strategies were doing. I think he pulled a strategy out of the Ferraris. However though, Sneaky, as you said, is staying there, but Felix has now pulled it to a second. Can Felix hold that gap? He needs to get a good exit out of here. Will he do it? He could have. I think he's safe. Has Sneaky got DRS range?
Sneaky got DRS.
No, he didn't. Oh, yes, no, he didn't. He didn't get DRS. Diego Gallo did. So Sneaky has to watch out as the Ferrari now is rapidly gaining in the straight.
Are you sure though? Because he still gained like 3/10.
He may run a lower downforce.
Might not have shown it for us, but he gained like 3/10 there.
He may run a lower downforce though, to be fair. And he's used a lot more ERS actually as well. But no, he didn't get the ERS. Oh, and there's yellows. No, that can't be. Is that the championship points leader? And he gets 5 seconds. Please do not retire. He's got a 5 second speed in the pit. When's Khalifi going to get a break? Had a great qualifying. No wing damage. Going for the fastest lap. Setting on those soft tyres. So he wants that fastest lap then. Back to the battle for the lead. Who do you think's going to win out this race then?
See Diego's close up quite a bit more. I mean, I'm not sure how penalties will affect it, but I think Felix has this in the bag. He is controlling it. I mean, he has for the last, like, ever since this. I mean, even before his teammate Pity, he's been keeping these guys behind at bay. Okay, if Sneaky did or didn't have DRS last lap, he definitely doesn't have it this lap, and he also has barely any ERS to use either. So, this is certainly going to allow Diego to start closing up and Felix to start getting away. Of course, ERS is kind of king when it comes to closing up and getting away, and right now Felix is doing that seemingly better than anyone else behind him. You would think that he'd be using more given that he's leading, but no, he is actually pretty calm with his ERS, and he's got almost half a battery.
Yeah, well, maybe Felix, maybe the reason why he hasn't pulled away yet, as Diego's actually lost a second now. The gap is to Sneaky, and Sneaky is pushing a little bit more. Maybe Felix is trying to save his hearts to try and take them to the end. You know, he could be having issues with tyre because he's been on them since for almost 20 laps. So he started them on lap 10, I'm guessing. Then if it's 20 laps or
well, yeah,
lap 9.
But I mean, so did everyone else behind him, down to P6.
It's true,
And
but
Snixel.
it could affect people's tyre wear, the way how they race. That can be a factor. But he's done a great job right now. He's holding the lead, and I bet he's praying just so that Snitzel just makes a mistake or gets a penalty, as he's on lap number 30. We haven't got that many laps left. Could Felix finally break his bad luck streak and take the win? Only time will tell, as he's running almost really wide there. As he's got caught. Sneaky's gaining on him now, and Felix is starting to struggle on those left front there. He's starting to get reeled in here, Kevin. Is he having tyre wear issues, or is that just him trying to save more ERS?
I'm not sure. It could just be that Sneaky's trying to eke out every little bit of fuel and ERS that he has left to try and close up to Felix, and then all of a sudden he'll just drop back, because Felix has been... I mean, Felix hasn't been using anything really. He's been really conservative, so I think all of a sudden Sneaky is gonna drop back and fall into the clutches of Diego, who's been hunting him down for pretty much as long as Sneaky has been hunting down Felix.
That's correct then, and Felix is doing a good job in the Mercedes. The Mercedes team did win a race last week with... Well, actually didn't win with Monster Blue, but Monster Blue, who's now in the Mercedes, did win last race. And if he was in the Mercedes could have won last race and this race then, the way it's going. And Snitzel,
speaking of Monster Blue, he's up into P8. He got an overtake on Snitzel on the straight, and yeah, pretty easy move up into P8. And then next up is PB Racing, who is
2.7 seconds
up the road. So
he could get sixth.
him to be able to...
He could get sixth. The thing is, right now, he isn't that far off him, and there's a plenty of laps left, and those mediums are still going to be fresh compared to those guys on hards. So let's see what Felix can do.
That is something to watch, at least, for what Felix can do. Right now, Sneaky within half a second. He's also been getting some ERS back, as has the people behind. Felix used a little bit of ERS in this at the start of the straight, but once again, all of a sudden, all Sneaky's ERS is kind of gone again, and Felix is able to relax a little bit more. He's got a lap and a half left of this, just keeping Sneaky behind. I mean, he's been doing it for so many laps that it wouldn't be surprising if he can do it for 2 more. But you never know. He's really closing now, Sneaky, in the closing stages, and also Diego's getting a little close as well. Pretty much all of the top 5 now are all of a sudden going just that little bit quicker, trying to close up. They're not able to overtake.
I see an issue on Felix. I think he's got tyre issues, because let's have a look at his rears. His rears look okay. How about his front tyres? I wish the sun would glare on the other side of the car. They're blistering a little bit on that left, and they're blistering a little bit. Yeah, I think Felix's hards are completely shredded. And here it is then. He comes around the final corner for the final lap now. He's going to start the final lap of the race. He needs to hold this position. The gap's 6/10. Is Sneaky closing? He's not using the overtake. So, is there any fights further behind? Thomas possibly going to make a move for third. Not at the moment, as Felix is holding the lead currently right now, as a racing point of AJU, who left the session quite early on, or basically a rage quit. But Felix, though, the league tier admin, actually the league admin of F6, is finally looks like he's going to get a break and win a race, and will be fighting for the championship. He was one of the favourites with Lewis Marshall, unfortunately left. And Felix is really getting caught up now. He's low on fuel as well, but I think everybody is. Unless that's just him. Has he been saving fuel? Oh, there's yellows. Is that Khalifi gone off? Or is that Schnitzel? I think that's Schnitzel.
It's not Khalifi, that's Schnitzel.
Oh no, that ain't good for AlphaTauri. They're going to lose so many points. They've been the past 3 rounds at the top of the constructors with point scoring, and they're going to score the least amount of points today. As here comes Felix then, around the final couple of corners. Will penalties decide what will happen? The German Felix Negwa then coming around the final corner in the Mercedes. Finally, Toto will be happy with the team, and he takes the win. Sneaky takes second, Diego takes third, Thomas fourth, Terra Racer in fifth, and Finley is going to round up the Alpha Male team in sixth. PB Racing will take seventh, and Monster Blue moves to seventh.
Yeah, it looks like from second to fourth all had 3 seconds of pens each, and Felix had none, because you can see the positions stayed the same, but Sneaky ended up 3.7 seconds back from Felix in the end. And
it's true, as
the gaps behind him kind of stayed the same. Actually, Terror Racer might have had 6 as well, so yeah, it seems Felix didn't even have a pen, so good on him.
Yeah, good on him indeed, as Khalifa there. He's going in the pits. He already wants to get in his in the garage, just retire the car, and just pit basically. As Schnitzel then goes 10th. But the man on the top step of the podium, who said he wasn't even thinking of winning, he thought Monster Blue was way too quick. I did talk to him before the race. Finally gets a win. The driver there is Thomas, and Kevin's already suggested the top 3-4 podiums.
I haven't done all 3. I'm not sure of the other 2. I've done Felix though.
Oh, that's good then. Felix then will be coming for an interview. I know he always likes the interview. And then there he is. Finally, the Mercedes team get the point, get the win, get the top step of the podium. Finally a win for their team. Felix has done it. Has had bad luck the past 3 rounds, and finally the bad luck ends and stops the streak of Khalifi getting podiums. He may now start a streak of getting wins. Felix then, top step of your podium. We'll go down the official results then. Felix then wins the race without getting a penalty. Sneaky had a penalty. The gap then was 3.7. However, if there was 3-second penalty one there, it would only be 7/10. Diego then in third. Finally, Ferrari score podium this week. So Diego's done amazing work for the Ferrari team. Thomas is in fourth. Terrace in fifth. Finley sixth. Monster Blue in seventh. Tipson in eighth. Pippi Racing in ninth. Schnitzel 10th. Panos is in 11th. Khalifi 12th. AJU, who DNF'd technically, in 13th. Jerry DNF'd. Senfi, Big Boy Julian, Tomic, Raf, and James all DNF'd in today's race, which was a shame for James, as he was in a massive crash, basically like a Grosjean, at turn number 3. Then let's get on with our podium interviews, as we'll invite the top 3, as Kevin has awesomely suggested them. Okay then, while we wait for the top 3. Well, Sneaky has made it then. Well, Sneaky, we actually might as well start with you while we wait for the other podium finishers. You have your mic on, always allowed to be shared, so the stream can pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, congratulations on second place. You probably were surprised at that, especially where you qualified. I believe it's 7th place. Both McLarens
for once actually not qualifying at the top like they've done in the past. How do you think your race went with the tricky quali conditions, and how the race panned out in the end for you getting a second place? And did you think you could have won the race if you didn't have the penalty?
Yeah, I was quite surprised. P7 in quali, I was quite disappointed. My teammate warned me about putting some inters. I was with wet, so yeah, that was disappointing. Now moving to the race. Yeah, the safety car really changed things. It helped me a lot. It cost others maybe a win. But Fly was just, yeah, literally flying his way through the circuit. Yeah, it was just amazing. I think that if I hadn't had penalties, no, it wouldn't change that much. So yeah, congrats to all.
Okay then. The other question I was going to ask: do you think for the next couple of rounds, do you think McLaren can finally challenge the Mercedes and get a 1-2 or get a win? Because you've proved in the McLaren team that you're doing very well. Do you think you could get the top side podium for the future rounds of PSGL this season?
Yeah, I actually think that we definitely can. The first 3 races that we had, they were quite bad in terms of the race pace. We had some couple of incidents, and that didn't help us. But I truly think that if we are a little bit lucky, we can fight for even 1-2s.
Okay then. Well, Kevin, do you have any questions for Sneaky? Any questions? Final
No,
questions or anything?
just congratulations on the P2. Good luck for next week.
Well then, Sneaky, the final question I actually was going to ask you, it's Spa next week. How do you feel you're going to be on that track? Do you think you could get another podium result, a win, or...
Oh, sorry. No, I feel quite okay at Spa. I have done a lot of practice. So yeah, let's see if that helps me to get another podium or even a win. Let's see.
Okay then, well, congratulations on the second. Unfortunately, it wasn't the win today, but still good result for the McLaren team. And hopefully you can get a win at Spa or get another podium, and we'll see you then and have a good race for there. And thanks for the interview, and see you then. Well then, before I move on to the race winner, I have to invite Diego Gallo again. For some reason he actually hasn't got the invite, so bit of anticipation there for you, Felix. As we just invite... Yep, there you go. Well then, Felix, finally your bad luck has ended. You finally get a win in the Mercedes team and finally get a podium, because all you've been doing is just scoring points past 3 rounds, consistent points. But now, top step of the podium, how do you feel your race went with the qualifying conditions as well?
Incredibly relieved. You won't believe how happy I am right now. I mean, I had Cameron as my engineer all race long, which was great because he really helped me throughout the entire race. I actually hoped for a wet quali because my full wet pace is actually quite decent on this game. But then it became inter conditions. I think in the full wet conditions I might have had a shot at pole, but in the inter conditions right at the end I couldn't be right up there. But P4 was a good place to start in, and then I decided to go for the mediums. And like Sneaky already said, the safety car changed the race quite a lot. Came at a pretty good point of the race, like perfect for us. Then Monster Blue didn't have the best chances on his hards. Then I went past Diego, luckily in the pits, but then Terror Racer got past me. And then he spun under the safety car. Don't know what happened there, but I definitely didn't touch him or anything. He just spun on his own. So lucky for me then. So basically from then onwards, it was the net lead.
Well, I'm actually shocked as well, actually, that you won, because you did say for the rest that you weren't actually going to win, because Monster Blue was quicker, you said. But speaking about your teammate now, Monster Blue, who isn't Lewis anymore, you're third in the constructors at the moment, but with the results there, I think you will move up to second. Do you think now that you could definitely challenge the AlphaTauri, especially with their poor performance today?
Yeah, I think we've got some good pace today, and very grateful that he actually let me go by on the straight on lap 3, I think it was, or lap 2 or something. He slightly weaved on the straight to tell me, go past me, it's alright. He was on the slower tyre and then decided that it's better for the team if I go past, which was very kind. Not everyone would have done that, but yeah, I think we both got some good pace. Obviously, we've got basically 2 out of 2 now. Obviously, last week didn't count as a Mercedes win as he was in Williams, but he won the race. This week I won the race, and yeah, I hope that we can challenge. But yeah, today I'm just happy that the tyres made it, to be honest. And if the tyres are not like that big of an issue for the rest of the season, I think that we can definitely challenge for some good results.
Well, okay then. Before I ask you the final question, then Felix, Kevin, do you have any questions for Felix?
I do have one.
Okay.
I looked at your race director, Felix, and in 2 consecutive laps in the middle of the race, you got 2 warnings. So, how did you feel like the rest of the race, knowing that like one more warning and you have a pen? Like, were you on edge, or were you thinking like it should be fine if you do get a pen, or?
I was a bit scared of that, not gonna lie. Got it pretty early on in the race, which definitely wasn't helping. And I knew that most people I was racing with are usually not getting too many pens. I knew Sneaky had one, but behind I thought Diego didn't have one, and also some other drivers. So I was pretty scared to get a pen, but I knew I had the pace always long and I knew I had the consistency usually to keep it clean. Came close once when I slightly outbraked myself, but yeah, managed to not track extend then. And yeah, in the end it was a bit tricky with the pens, like you said. I didn't know that those guys behind me had pens. Otherwise, it would have been a bit more relaxed. But what scared me the most was actually the tyre wear. I was on like 78% or something on the last lap, so I just parked it because I knew that Sneaky didn't have that much ERS from Cameron, who kept me up to date with everything. And yeah, I just tried to park it to not make the tyre blow. And yeah, I was actually pretty confident that I wouldn't get a pen, but I know myself, and I know I'm kind of a bottler sometimes, so a pen was never far away.
And you did quite well not to get one as well. So yeah, congratulations on the win, Felix, and good luck in the future races.
Thank you.
Well, Felix, the final question is Spa next week, and I know you've had a bit of Spa practice for this weekend for another league. Do you think you could get a win at Spa and get the Mercedes a 1-2, or do you think other people like the Sneaky and the McLaren or Khalifi finally can get the strategy to work this week, which he didn't get work this week? Do you think you could get another podium or win again?
I think the strategy is a lot more easy in Spa, easy one-stop, soft medium, but rain could play a bit of a factor there as well. And yeah, I usually feel quite comfortable around Spa. I like the track, it's a lot of fun to drive, and yeah, on this game it's not that realistic, but I still enjoy it, and I think my pace was not too bad, and I actually expected Spa to be my stronger weekend rather than Spain today. So yeah, I'm hoping to get maybe another podium, but I'll have to wait and see for the other guys because we've got a lot of quick guys in here. But yeah, I'll just honestly go out on the track and see what I can do.
Okay then, well, congratulations again on your win and finally getting your first win, of course, and hopefully you have good luck for Spa as well, and we'll see you then, and have a nice day, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Well then, Diego, just before we start the interview, is your mic allowed to be shared so the stream can hear you and everything?
Yeah, you hear me?
I can hear you, so that's good to hear.
Yeah,
yeah. Right then. Well, congratulations to get Ferrari a podium, especially at the start of the season. You had a bit of contact with your teammates in Austria, which is ironically like the real life where teammates had contact, but Finally, the Ferraris are going the right way, and you've scored consistent points now. Last round you scored points, and this round you actually scored a podium for them. How do you feel for the rest of the season Ferrari can do?
Yeah, I feel like I had too much bad luck in the first races, especially in Austria. I raced a lot of races in league races, and I had like 2 or 3 DNF, and well, it's pretty rare for me to make a mistake like that, and yeah, sometimes it happens. In Hungary, I really was unlucky with the strategy, but yeah, last weekend and today I really was able to show my real pace, and I hope it's gonna be like this in the next races.
Oh, that's indeed. Hopefully you can do well in the next race, of course. And I'm going to say, with your teammate today, do you think the Ferrari team as a alone, do you think you could be one of the contenders for the constructors, or do you think a midfield this season for the constructors fight, or are you just going to plan your race by race?
I don't know. AlphaTauri and Mercedes are pretty good, and they look like the contenders. So I don't know. We're going race to race, and we'll see what happens. And now we are getting good points. I think Sherry is pretty fast, and he wasn't able to show it. We are maybe like we can fight for third or fourth position in the Constructors Championship.
Right then, apologies there for the rest of the stream. My controller decided to be going nuts there for some reason. But yeah, well, I can't really fault you for anything else. You've done a very good job today, and the bad luck has finally ended for you as well. Kevin, do you have any questions for Diego before I ask him the last one, or would you like to ask him the last question? No. Okay then. Well then, I will ask you the last question. It is Spa next week. How do you feel you're going to be there? Do you think you could result for another podium or win, or just points on the cards for Ferrari?
Obviously, I love the track. I think it's the favorite track of almost every racer here. But I don't feel like I'm especially quick there. I feel like Spain was one of my best tracks, Silverstone too, but I don't think that doesn't happen to me with Spa. So I try to get some points, but I don't think I'm gonna fight for the podium.
Okay then. Well, hopefully you can fight for a podium, of course, and hopefully we can have you on the podium interviews again. But all I can say is congratulations. I believe third place you got.
Thank you.
And hopefully you do well next time out. And thanks for the interview.
Thanks. See ya.
See you later. Well then, this has been PSGL season 26 for the F6 tier at round number 4 at Spain. It's been a very interesting day, but before we round off the stream, Kevin, do you have a highlight of today's race?
Well, not really. I mean, I guess it was like how close the top guys were for that long, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's a good highlight though, because I mean, you would rather, of course, people fighting, and people didn't really do that. Obviously, Spain doesn't really promote it too much. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was the most exciting, but yeah, I would say the general fight for the lead.
Okay then, well, that's your highlight. I think my highlight was, I would say Felix winning, but you know, I was actually expecting him to do well today. But I'm going to say the highlight was the amount of people who actually lost it through turn 9, the fast right-hander, how quite easy it was, and a couple of the crashes. It may not be a good highlight as well, but it was fun to see people making mistakes, and it helped other people. Well then, I will close down the stream then. I've been your commentator, Iron Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. Been joined in the comms booth by my close friend Aspect, or as Kevin.
Oh, wait,
Hello.
why did I say hello? Oh my God.
We're not starting
I'm
again.
thinking that it's the start of the stream again.
Well, we're not starting again. But it's God, you put me off now. It's been great to do comms today. It's been a great race. A bit boring at some parts, but there's been action all around. And hopefully there's some more action for Spa next week. And I'll see you guys next time. And goodbye for now.